Today's episode of the Get Home Safe podcast contains explicit language that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
It's time to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits. Whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts, this is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Ursama.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. It's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. That means it's time for Bill Barnes on the weekly Wednesday weigh-in. Bill Barnes, it's Monday morning. How was your weekend, and how are you, sir?
I'm well. The weekend was mediocre, a hell of a lot better than the last one before that. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I could have had, a brain aneurysm and enjoyed a better weekend than the one before.
Yeah. Hard to repeat, huh?
Jesus Christ. But anyway, no, it was good. I went down and reconnected with an old friend down in the Woodland Hills area. Had a good little dinner at Monty's Steakhouse.
Oh, good spot.
Yeah,
good spot.
My pocketbook paid the price, but oh well.
Live music?
No. Still tent dining.
Oh, tent. Are you kidding?
You could go inside, but let me tell you, LA County, my God. I mean, today's the 16th. You're watching this on the 16th.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, anything could happen. We're taping Monday, but there's supposed to be a relaxation of the mask mandate throughout California. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
LA County people are really, really paranoid and are completely drinking the Kool-Aid when it comes to wearing a fucking mask down there. Anyway, we had a good dinner, good conversation, a good little reconnect. During the course of that evening, I found out that something kind of upsetting, that the person that introduced us, myself and this young lady, 4 years ago, and we kind of dated a little bit back then, but then we kind of fell off the map. There were some issues, that came up, and we just backed off. But we reconnected, and I found out that the girl that I had, believe it or not, I was on a dating website 4 years ago, November 2017. I connected on a young lady from Simi Valley, very nice gal. But when we talked, she says, "Hey, you're too far. You're too far away. I like to stay local." I said, "All right, that's understandable." She goes, "However, I have a friend who's not on the site. I think you two would really hit it off." I said, "I'm game." So she introduced us, and things went well for a little while. And then, like I say, nobody's fault, we just went our separate ways for a while. Well, we reconnected, and we talked. And this girl Nadine, the girl from Simi, something about her. Lived by herself, had never had kids, had been married, I believe, once or twice, like we all have. And she really had her shit together. I mean, she had a beautiful home, gorgeous home. We went there for a Christmas party. She was a great hostess, very friendly, a super, super nice lady. Come to find out, about a year ago, during the height of this COVID madness, she took her own life.
Oh, man.
Took her own life in a very violent and ugly way. And I was, goddamn, I almost choked on my dinner when I heard this. I couldn't believe it. Here's a woman who really had life by the balls and was really going well. And even she, not the COVID itself got to her, but the craziness of how it affects people in other ways. You get COVID, you have an underlying condition. COVID makes it worse. In her case, she was perfectly healthy, but the stress and the all the crap that was going on, put her in a state of depression. And instead of reaching out for some help, she took her own life, and she was, I'm going to say, late 40s, early 50s.
Wow.
And really sad, like a lot of other people. have. That's why you see all kinds of stress and craziness going on now that supposedly the restrictions have lifted. We'll see. I mean, that's why I think you're seeing these lunatics that are on airplanes acting up. Nobody wants to wear these fucking things anymore. I sure as fuck don't, and I'm not going to. And if there's places that I'm not allowed to go into that still want them, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go to any sports events where I got to wear. I'm not going to do it. It's ridiculous. It's time that I not be held hostage because someone has not got the shot to get us to this so-called herd immunity. I think it's complete bullshit. I think it's a control issue on our governor's part and on our local Democratic leaders.
Well, and I say it almost every week, but I don't think it's a vaccine issue. Like if people don't want to get the vaccine, okay, big deal. Like if places are open up all over the country, California is its own country, it seems like. And again, if people are paranoid, if you get the vaccine, what do you care if other people? What do you care if other people don't have the vaccine? I'm seeing crowds at UFC in Arizona, huge crowds indoors, no masks, a ton of baseball games over the weekend in college baseball. No, outdoor, those are outdoors, of course, but still there's people not wearing masks. I get if someone comes to California from some of these other states, they have to be like, what planet are you guys on?
Exactly.
And so, yeah, I am looking forward to this getting rid of these masks as well. But I don't see it happening anytime soon because it's going to be, it's the same concept of over a year and a half ago or a year ago. Guys, 2 weeks, just 2 weeks. Right. And plus, I do think with all the people that have had COVID, with all the people that are vaccinated, the chances are of people getting it are less and less likely now. And so, yeah, the herd immunity, whatever you want to call it, I'm not saying it's vanished or anything, but I don't think it's quite the threat level that people think it was, especially now after us knowing a little bit more about it, So if you're vaccinated, good for you. If you've had COVID, you're not going to get it again.
No, well, let's hope not.
And these are, look at someone's going, well, someone here got it. There's exceptions to everything. Nothing's 100%. But as
people have been struck by lightning twice in their life.
Yes.
Okay. People have won the lottery twice in their life. People have had 2 psychopathic ex-wives in their life. Okay. It happens. All right. Okay. Before we move on, I'm going to show you. This is Nadine Block. God rest her soul. If you can see this, that's Nadine. Can I get it?
Yeah.
Put it up there.
We'll do it.
All right.
Nadine.
Okay, that was a pretty current picture of her back in the day.
Okay.
You know what? Rest easy, Nadine. And,
yeah.
Didn't have to happen, but
it's interesting. Godspeed indeed. And it's interesting, Bill, that you said, the whole concept of COVID and all people want to talk about are people infected and the deaths. Better safe than sorry, right? Magical words. But people don't think about those who have suffered, as you mentioned, from depression, from being indoors, not being around people.
How about these juniors and seniors in high school that have lost all of their social ability, their sports ability? They've been cooped up in houses on fucking Zoom education. Come on. They're going to be scarred. They're going to be fucked up.
Yeah. We were already having issues with kids not getting outside and just electronics and everything all the time. And yeah, people, but teachers, all these organizations, they don't care. They don't care that people suffer.
You think the LA teacher union cares? Those lazy motherfuckers don't give a shit about anything. Yeah. All they care about is themselves. Their union is a complete extension of the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay. And I'm sure there's some good teachers in that union, and I'm not saying everybody, but your union's fucked. Okay. They just finally decided to come to an agreement. They're going to come back to in-person education in September.
Oh, in time for summer. Yeah.
Well, bully for you. Yeah. Congratulations.
Well done. Everyone else
do your fucking job.
Everyone else has been getting back to work and working. But Bill, if you're going to get paid to not do something, to not do your job, I would I think most people would be like, yeah.
That's what most people are doing.
Yeah.
You can't get restaurants to get full staff anymore.
Mm-mm.
You can't get, I mean, I went to a little watering hole the other night, and there was one bartender. She was handling the whole fucking place. And I said, "You're by yourself?" She goes, "Yeah, we can't hire. Nobody wants to work."
That's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Way to go, Joe. You're doing a great job.
Yeah.
You too, Gavin.
Those gas prices, at least they're low. Oh, never mind. Well, Bill, I'm sad to hear that story.
Let's switch gears.
Let's switch it up. Let's get to something rather fun and funny. You got a nice shirt there on.
Swim like hell so the alligators don't get you. All right. This shirt was sent to me by the notorious lunatic from Calamasa, Margie. Thank you, Margie. Keep them coming. I wear them once and throw them away. Kidding. Anyway, the reason I wore this today is because I was this morning, and I get up at 4 a.m. prepare for the show. I do my homework, due diligence, get ready.
Wow.
And so anyway, I am watching the news this morning, and some poor slapdick back in Cape Cod out doing his lobster fishing got swallowed by a sperm whale and then spit out.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's lived to tell about it. I too have had an experience with a whale, and she too spit me out. Happened on the shores of Lake Paris about circa 1988.
Wow.
When you're 29 years old and you're drinking heavily, 120 pounder turns into about a 270 pounder, and you are in deep shit, my friend.
Wow.
So that brought back a horrific memory.
Yeah.
I don't go to Lake Paris anymore.
That's great.
Anyway, I'd do anything for a cheap laugh.
Hey, absolutely.
If you believe it, you believe it. If you don't, you don't. I just had to run with it.
I love it. Well, it's a great shirt. You get the crocodile for those not watching on YouTube.
Aren't you glad you gave it now, Margie?
Yeah.
In that story, huh?
Shows a crocodile with a line through it.
Yep.
And
Swim like hell.
I love it. Well, we did hear from Margie, of course, on our email list here. We love her interaction with us. We wish more people were like her and reaching out to us. But anyway, here's what she said, Bill. Good morning, boys. Last week you talked about J-Lo or Carrie Underwood. Here's my question: Ginger or Marianne? Or for Matt, since you're too young to remember, I'll ask this one for you: Rachel, Phoebe, or Monica? Of course, in reference to the show Friends. So I have some thoughts. Bill, what are your thoughts, Ginger or Marianne?
I'm going to go Marianne only because she's still alive. And she's 85 years old, but my back's in the to the wall. I got to answer the question. However, both in their prime, back in the day when they were both in their prime, I would have liked to have experienced both. Okay, but if I had to choose, back then it would have been Marianne.
Yeah,
because I am partial to brunettes.
Okay,
I used to be a blonde guy.
Okay, mix it up, change it up.
Now, I'm partial to anything that's partial to me. Beggars can't be choosers.
Well,
so in their prime, I think it would have been Marianne.
Not a bad duo to be trapped on an island with.
No,
you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know why the professor was screwing around with the radios. He should have been screwing around with somebody else.
Yeah, he had to look like $1 million compared to the skipper and Gilligan.
Gilligan and the skipper are sleeping in the same room. And then, you got Lovey and the old man, Lovey and Dr. Thurston Howell III. Yeah. God only knows what they're doing. And then who else was left?
The professor should have been cleaning up, man.
The professor should have been doing some really good research.
I'd be looking for ways to not get off the island. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, let's have some fun, ladies. Let's find a way to make up some
and if it was current day and they were on a desert island, and communication was sent to them, I think the communication would say, "Stay where you're at. The world's fucked up."
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
You know what? I'm at a place, Bill, where with the craziness we've had the past year, I wouldn't mind being on an island with about 5 people. That wouldn't be such a bad life, I think. No, it wouldn't be so bad.
Great.
Little tiki bar.
Yeah. Oh,
just
say no more.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Ginger and Mary, I watched Gilligan's Island as a kid, and as I was maturing, they became more attractive. That's a tough call. Marianne has that like sweet innocence, and then Ginger's a movie star, man. I think she'd be a little much too much to please though, as a big
She
celebrity.
would be a little high maintenance.
A little high maintenance, I think.
Even on the island, she looked, like $1 million.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. So that'd be tough to live up to.
They must have brought a lot of clothes and suitcases with them that I didn't see. I don't know how they put them on the boat, but anyway.
I think Marianne would be a good time. She seems like she could, hey, let's go out tonight and have a good time. No matter you go anywhere with her, but I think
Marianne would be my kind of girl.
I think Ginger, you'd have to go to some restaurant like Monty's to please her.
Monty's was fun.
Or some dive bar, Okay, so it's a tough one. I think we're both on the same page there. Both are a great option, but probably lean towards Marianne. I'll answer your friend's question, Margie, since it's a little more relatable. Rachel, Phoebe, or Monica. I think it's definitely Rachel all day. Jennifer Aniston. Although I'll say, before she got all the Botox and everything, Monica, who is Courtney Cox, she was looking okay in her later age. But
I liked her when she got on the stage and danced with Bruce Springsteen back when I was, in my 20s, and she was probably 14. That's when I kind of liked her.
Wow. Great question, Margie. See, for those of you hesitant to send in questions, they can literally be about anything.
And we'll bastardize them like we just did and have fun with it. And,
Yeah. We went from Ginger and Marianne to, but let's live on a desert island. Hey, let's stay there and not get out of here. That seems like a good option. So thank you very much, Margie, not only for the shirts, but for listening, for watching, whatever you do. Probably our number one fan.
The number one female fan for sure.
Yeah, we got a lot of great.
We have got a lot of fans. We're every place. I believe it or not, I have been in places, and friends of friends. Oh, yeah, man. My friend told me that, and they've watched, and we're getting a little bit of a following here.
Well, I told you on the Facebook show. We've had the ratings are in, and the Wednesday episodes are getting a lot of plays on just the audio, and then we've thrown in YouTube. That's increased as well. We're getting about 70 plays on audio and about 40 on video. So whatever you're doing, Bill, whatever recruiting you're doing, I mean, by all means, keep it up because it's working. And the Facebook show, even if you don't watch it live, we're getting a lot of views on that.
I said on the Facebook program, I have a contact in the Frontera Women's Prison, and I've sent the link there. And the ladies like to,
are they trying?
This.
They're trying to get home safe.
They're home and they're safe, and they're having a good time watching us.
So let me ask you. You shared this with a few ladies. You said, are any of them ever, or anyone, not just ladies or fellas, whatever, are any of them get back to you and like, you're out of control?
No.
I don't. Okay.
No, we, at the very least, we're entertainment.
Yeah.
They may not agree with our political stance.
Okay.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, they find it quite entertaining.
Okay, good. And that's what you want. Right. And what a concept that you don't have to agree with everything somebody says to, show interest or like them or whatever. And Bill, hey, you've been married a few times. You know what that's about. Anyway, let's see here. I want to get to the Facebook thing later, the Facebook post. I want to talk about something we talked about on the Facebook show, and that was the concept of girls' weekends versus the guys' weekends. When not necessarily a bachelor party or something, but just, hey, the fellas' trip to Vegas, or the girls' weekend to Palm Springs, and how different those two are.
Like night and day. Like men and women.
Guys' trips, no photos. Girls' trips, lots of photos. Look at us doing this. But you also had some other thoughts regarding the guys' week, actually the girls' weekends.
Loved them.
Yeah.
That's a peace and fucking solitude, man. I would look forward to it. I say, babe, when are you going with the girls again? Why? What do you want to do? I just want you to have a good time. Go out and have a good time. I mean, the beauty of being home without supervision is that you don't have to live by a woman's standards of always flushing the toilet. Make sure the toilet seat's down. If you might forget, okay, and then 20 minutes later you go back and you take care of it. But if God forbid, you walked out of the bathroom without flushing, you were in
jail.
Absolutely,
life jail.
Yeah, and so I loved it when she would leave.
Yeah,
and it's not that I was going to do anything or anything. I just like to relax and breathe. You know,
That's
I
it.
loved it when she worked weekends. I could breathe. I liked it when, you know, I had days off during the week and she was working during the week. I could breathe.
Were you just like in captivity when she was home? Like what?
No, it's just that, you know, when a woman is going through that certain time of her life, which I think she went through for about 10 years, it's hell. Okay. They lose their minds. You go to bed with Marilyn Monroe, you wake up with Marilyn Manson. You just don't know which side of the bed they've woken up on. Okay. You don't know if you are in a state of flux constantly. Okay. There needs to be some type of pill. There needs to be some type of hormonal balance pill that they can be given to make them think more rationally and collectively.
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one. Okay.
So
What would she have thought of? What would she have thought of you running or being on this podcast weekly?
God, are you kidding me?
Well,
Oh, that would be completely no. You cease and desist immediately.
yeah.
You're embarrassing me. My friends watch and they think you're an asshole.
Well, they always
they
do.
thought that before they watched.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that would be that. Oh God, both of them.
But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting. Yeah. But you know, so if we had a guy's trip or something, I mean, it's completely different. Instead of her just enjoying herself, peace and quiet, reading a book or whatever women like to do at home, she would be hitting you up, I'm sure. Right. What are you doing? Where are you guys?
Oh, my God.
And it's like,
yeah, I mean,
you need a tracker?
We're fishing. We're just doing our thing. We're laying around drinking. What? How many whores are there? I can't hang with you. Jesus Christ. You know, if I was as popular with women as you think I am,
yeah,
I sure as fuck wouldn't be with you. How's that?
Well said.
How's that?
Yeah, look, that's another thing. Ladies out there, men, we're not that interesting. You know, a fun time is hey, let's go hang out and sit around and drink and make fun of each other. Right. That's literally what we do. Exactly. It's not like this glamorous thing.
Right. You know, I have a funny story that I don't know if I told it last week. I can't remember if I did or not, because I was still in a state of like I was still weirded out last week from that weekend. Okay. Did I tell the story about my first wife coming to my house about a week and a half ago? And she brought her daughters with her.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
She came over. She was in the area. She wanted to come by.
Okay.
She came by. Now, keep in mind, very, very, very sad situation. Her husband died back in December.
Oh,
he had a cough on Thursday and was dead on Saturday.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if it was her cooking. I know. Come on, Bill.
Bill.
God damn it. You know, for once, would you please dummy up here? Okay. Yes, he passed. And it was horrible on her daughter. Her daughters are 19 and 18, I think. Horrible. They're really good looking girls. They're really good kids, beautiful women. I mean, obviously they took after their late father, obviously. I mean, and they really successful. They're good kids. The younger one just graduated from high school. They came over and wanted to see my place. Why? I don't know. They were in the area. So they came in and we're talking, and I'm trying to, in fact, we watched one of the shows.
No way.
She goes, what do you got? What have you been doing? I said, well, I did this thing today. And we were watching it, and the kids were laughing, and she was shaking her head, disgusted with me. But the kids found it really funny. So we're watching it, and then she's talking, and I said, we're talking this, talking that. She said, well, Rick was this. Rick. I said, yeah, I know, it's bad. So I went up. I felt bad for her daughter. I went upstairs. I wrote her a check for her graduation. Came down, gave it to her. I said, your dad would be very proud of you. Yeah. Okay. For once in my life, I was trying to be a decent human being. Take this. Buy yourself a couple of snow cones, do whatever you want to do. I go, what are you going to plan on doing? Well, I'd like to go and get my GED and then be a nurse. And I said, that's fantastic. Anything I can do for you, let me know. So they left, and I'll be damned if I wasn't scrolling around, just scrolling around. And I found her picture on a dating website. My ex.
Wow.
I called her. I said,
what are the chances?
I go, your old man is not even cold yet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right.
And you're out there, oh, well, so-and-so put it on there for me. I said, you got to be ashamed of yourself. I said, grieve a little bit.
Grieve a little.
I mean, good God. you're already out there looking for, the next meal ticket. I can't believe it.
Wow.
So anyway,
that's a little fast.
I found that kind of just absolutely mind-boggling.
Well, what is an appropriate amount of time for?
I think a year.
A year, whole year?
Yeah. A year.
It's been about 6 months.
Get your mind in order.
Okay.
But come on. Holy smokes. And
Yeah.
your daughter's the one who put her on because she's the most computer illiterate person. Well, she's illiterate in other things, but computer illiterate that I've ever met. So I know she didn't do it. I don't even think she's probably running. Her daughter's probably doing the picking and choosing for her. So anyway, I said, "What in the fuck?"
Wow.
And it was a very, very. The picture had to be photoshopped.
It
wasn't bad. It wasn't the true her, like most of them out there.
Well, that's pretty standard. Yeah. So I'm very curious. Did you were scrolling?
Mm-hmm.
Did this website happen to find you two compatible? Like, did it match you guys by any chance? No. Okay, that would have been hilarious.
No.
You matched with your ex-wife.
No, God, no. No, that would have been grounds for, that'd have been grounds for me never leaving the house again.
Well, there's another ex-wife story. We said this on the show, but we were over, me and a couple of my other buddies, all guys in their 30s, 30 years old, give or take. And all three of us single. We know Bill Barnes at a cool place. We hung out at his pool all day. And we're having a few pops, just hanging out at the pool, eating pizza, and gonna head out and go somewhere else that night.
I wasn't.
No,
you guys were. I wasn't allowed to.
No, you weren't allowed.
I'm chained to the kitchen sink.
8 o'clock curfew.
Yeah, absolutely. When the street lights come on, I'm inside.
Yeah.
So anyway, I remember that night. You guys were over and we're talking and we I think I brought up, the neighbor next door who was like in her mid-20s, kind of, hot and sultry looking, kind of what, I didn't know if she was a dancer, stripper, call girl, all three. I have no idea. Because she used to go out late at night and it looked like she was ready to go and, go to a Vegas club or something. But anyway, I kind of brought her up and we were talking about her. And then when you guys left, what'd you guys do? What'd you guys talk about? I said, we just, blah, blah, blah. She goes, I wish I'd have a heads up. It's like, no, I'm coming home to a house full of men. Shit. Okay, great. Well, sorry. I go, last time I checked, I'm paying the rent around here. So it's my place too, even though it's yours. I get a small slice of the bed. I get to sleep in this much of it. I use the bathroom after you. I get this much of the closet. I don't have any drawers in the thing. I got to stack my shit in the bathroom. But I understand it's your place. I get it.
Makes sense.
I'm just a guest here. That's fine. So anyway, we got to talk and I said, I was talking to the guys about Trixie or whatever her name is next door. She goes, oh, don't you dare bring her up. And don't you dare ever try to fix those guys up with her. She is trash and they are good boys. And I thought, oh my God.
They're nice boys, Bill.
Nice boys. I go, what the I go, you're as delusional as ever. I said, nice boys. I said, what do you think? I had Cub Scout Pack 102 from Claremont over here? A bunch of Boy Scouts. I go, these guys are a bunch of treacherous, guys. She'd be right up their alley. Good God. Are you kidding me?
Running rampant at that age. Single. Yeah.
They're walking around, with a heart on a cat scratch.
Always looking for a party. Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good times. We're all settled down a bit now, but still, that was hilarious.
Some of us are.
Nice boys. You're out of your mind.
God, I knew that. I go, okay. Everything my first instincts are true. 5 years later, this woman's delusional.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, first of all, her decision-making process is atrocious because she chose me. So that should have been my first clue.
It should have been. Oh my goodness. That is hilarious. Oh man. All right. Well,
was that a rudderless ship?
Oh my goodness. And well, life goes on. The world keeps spinning. But anyway, that's interesting. Okay. So let's talk about something. Listen, in regards to COVID, I love the whole concept of, and I'm saying this tongue in cheek, anytime you hear experts, why are we masking up, and why are we, experts say, experts said this, studies show. And isn't it funny how we talked about Dr. Fauci last week, how you're not allowed to criticize someone who's an expert. Well, I'll tell you what, as an example, there's plenty of head coaches, say in the NFL, they're the best at what they do. We all question some of their decision making because some of them do make stupid decisions. So just my point of all this is that just because you're an alleged expert in science or whatever the case may be, doesn't mean there's a lot of experts who graduated college and have master's degree and everything, right? Just because you're an expert or an alleged smart person,
where are you going with it?
Doesn't mean you're smart. I'm sorry. You don't get
I'm going to be like,
you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. My point is, people were critical about people last week criticizing Dr. Fauci, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, you can't criticize him. He's an expert in his field. It's like, why are we allowed to question people who are allegedly smart or allegedly, big time experts? Because we do it in other areas of life, but in COVID, you can't do that.
Well, because they're very protective of this guy. They're protective of the fact that this guy was, his people and him were feeding money to the Chinese to come up and do these experimentations in labs, and went sour on them, and they tried to blame it on a fucking bat. Okay, which we know is bullshit. So my point is that they knew it was an experiment, and they knew what it was. It leaked. It got ugly. It made people sick. But if they knew what it was, if they knew what was in the container, in the what's that little the
petri dish or
whatever, the petri dish, then they knew how to come up with a vaccine. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel personally. Now I know that you folks out there, you're going to think that, Bill's drinking the fucking Kool-Aid. He's one of these guys. My personal belief is the vaccine is safe, because they knew, oh shit, okay, we know how to clean it up. It'll take a while, but a few months, but we can clean it up. Mm-hmm. That's why, there's 3 and 4 different drug manufacturers now that know how to put a lid on this. And that's why I think the vaccine is safe, and depending on who you believe, it's working. Mm-hmm. So that's my personal belief. If you can test for it, you can identify it, you should be able to cure it with a vaccine. People are going to say, well, we could probably cure cancer too. Yes, we could. But guess what? Cancer treatments make people a lot of money.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. What are your
treatments?
Whoa.
Make people a lot of money. And you're never going to cure that, because that's going to take money out of people's pockets. I've
been more open to all kinds of theories now, because I've heard about the facts and the science and experts. It's like, don't question anything. Don't ever question anything. These guys say this is truth 100%. Whereas now I've grown to hear about conspiracy theories, because remember, that whole concept of this was man-made was a theory. It was, and you were a lunatic if you thought that. But now I'm open to some of the crazy things I've heard. And what makes sense to me, Bill, with the vaccine, don't you think there's a lot of money to be made in the vaccine market as far as people getting vaccinated? There's a lot of money to be made there. And so I don't know
There's two things that makes the world go around: money and sex. All right. There's one of them right there.
Yeah. All
right.
Yeah.
If you're alive making money, you're going to get sex. Okay.
True. Anyway, I don't want to, we'll move on, but I think we are allowed to question the people that are overlords, because they're not as smart, I think, as they like to tell us they are.
No, hell no, they're not.
And
Fauci hasn't worn a stethoscope in 50 years. Okay. He's just a pontificator.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, pontificator. That's a good one. But I just can't stand. Some of the theories I've heard now, I'm like, yeah, I believe that. I could believe that. So anyway, let's move on. Experts say, talked about that. Okay, you had a Facebook post last night, Sunday night, I think, Pretty good one.
I saw it. Old buddy of mine, good dude, living in St. Paul, Minnesota. Former Major League umpire Tim Cheetah and I are friends, and he had shared a post from a guy named Mike Port. Mike Port, I think, was a Major League Baseball executive at one time. He was also, I believe, the general manager of the Angels a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Old time, good baseball guy, old school baseball guy. Okay. Didn't believe in any of the bullshit they're doing now. And he basically alluded to a guy named Brian Price. Brian Price was a former manager of the Cincinnati Reds, former pitching coach, Seattle Mariners, Philadelphia Phillies. Brian, he's about 50. He finally had enough. He said, fuck it, I'm done. This game is no longer fun. I'm not going to do it for the money anymore. I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. He walked away. And Port basically, I mean, if you want to read it, go to my page and read it. But I'll give you the Reader's Digest version here. He basically says there's a lot of people doing that. And baseball is not a good product anymore because of the way they have marketed the game to be longer. They came up with all these stupid little silly rules now. How even with instant replay was supposed to be the cure-all. Now it's even more fucked up because people are still arguing after the play's been looked at and being ejected. They thought it was going to cure it all. It hasn't. All it has done is cheapen the game. Fundamentals have gone out the window. People don't bunt anymore. People don't run and hit anymore. The team game is gone. Everybody they're worried about their launch angles and their bat speed velocity and all that other superfluous bullshit that doesn't mean anything. Okay. Who cares how fast the ball comes off the bat if it's a fucking home run or a base hit? Who gives a flying fuck?
The science of baseball. It's
just like the science of COVID.
Yeah.
They're both fucked up.
Yeah. Ruined it.
And so anyway, it's a really good analogy of what's going on. And I've got some comments on there. One's from a guy who played with Brian in Alaska. They were both pitchers at the same time. Phil was at USC. Brian was at Cal, and they were teammates up in an Alaska league. And I can guarantee you this. That I told Phil in the statement that both of his old coaches, Rod Dato and Mike Gillespie, are rolling over in their graves about the way baseball is being played now.
Oh, it's very sad. And I like the point he made about instant replay, how that was supposed to, fix, because when it came in, it was supposed to fix the egregious misses, the ones that the 1 out of 100 plays that's like, oh man, that was really, really bad. But it's turned into this micromanaging. Well, is he safe by a fingernail? Did he get an eyelash? And it's made the players so critical and overly critical of wanting and demanding beyond perfection that it's ruined baseball. I think
I would love to just see it go away.
Me too.
It's like, hey, you can't get do-overs in life a lot. You crash a car into a telephone pole, you can't undo that and make the dent go away. You live with it. All right.
Yeah.
It's somebody's fuck up, whether the pole jumped out at you or you hit it, it's somebody's fuck up. So, well,
you make an error in a game. You don't get to redo it.
No,
you drop a ball, you don't get another shot.
No. So I don't know.
But
I tell you, I have no interest in watching Major League Baseball anymore. I have no interest in going to a baseball game. One, the product is shit. Two, I don't want to wear a goddamn mask in the ballpark or be around a bunch of crazed lunatic fans anymore. This whole distancing thing has made me to the where I don't like crowds. I don't like crowds because when I've gone into bars or restaurants, they've had distancing and it's been nice. People aren't around me. People aren't bothering me. People aren't, brushing up against me and stuff. I like that. I like the distance thing. I'm going to have to get back. If I'm going to go out again, I'm going to have to kind of start acclimating myself to being around people.
How do you balance that? Whereas, you like going out to be around people because but you don't want to be around a lot of people, right? It's a fine line.
It's like, having neighbors, you want neighbors, but I want them in their own house and I don't want to share a wall with them. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear them doing things,
Yeah, no doubt. Bill, last week we recorded and we had a few cocktails. It was fun having happy hour. And I got some comments that, Man, that was kind of cool. Like you guys were a little more loose, and I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. So maybe once a month or something, we'll have to record on like a Sunday night or something, and partake in a little happy
when we're liquored up.
Yeah, a little happy hour.
That's a recipe for disaster, but we can do it.
Yeah, it depends. It depends what the audience wants. We
do what the people want.
We're men of the people.
We're men of the people. Absolutely.
At all times. So I will say the ratings are up. Life is good here on the podcast. Okay, cop stories. You have a few cop stories for me.
What? I heard a story last week, and it is absolutely fucking hilarious. And it kind of reminded me of one of the most egregiously ridiculous complaints I got as a cop.
Oh, this will be good.
Okay. I was working day shift, working a really nice area of Riverside. It was kind of the high end, high district, rent district. Some jack off called and said that somebody stole his, gas barbecue from his porch or some bullshit. I don't know what it was. So I took my sweet time getting there. I got, the response time should have been about 5 minutes. It took me probably about an hour and a half. I had some things to do. So I get there and the guy's waiting for me in the driveways. I park in front, and you never park, whether they're victim side, you never park in front of the house you're going to. You always park a couple of, houses down for officer safety reasons.
Officer safety reasons.
You don't want to drive yourself into an ambush.
Okay.
So anyway, I get out and I'm walking up. He goes, "Why are you parking so far away?" I said, "I like the exercise, sir. What can I do for you?" Well, goddamn, some son of a bitch took my gas barbecue off my porch, and by God, I've got the receipt. I got the serial numbers. Your job is to find it. Absolutely, sir. I said, "Before we get started, can I use your restroom?" Well, okay, no problem. Yeah, sure, I'll show you. So he sends me in. I see his newspaper. It's about 9:00 in the morning. I see his newspaper right outside on this little table. So I grab the paper. I go in.
Oh no!
Shut the door. Turn the fan and the light on. Sit down. You start reading. I wasn't able to do my morning ritual, so I said, "I'm going to use this slapdick's house because he's being a dick." All right, and he gave me permission to use the bathroom. So by God, I'm going to do it. So I sit down and I'm reading the paper, sports, and looking around. And about 25 minutes later, I'm done and get up and walk out. He goes, "Well, that took long enough." I said, "Well, sir, I wanted to, some things, you need to take care of in the morning." "Okay, well, fair enough." So I get the paperwork on the barbecue. "Yeah, right here." He shows me. And he starts dropping city councilman names. He starts dropping the city attorney's name. And the more he talked, the less interested I got in trying to recover his fucking barbecue. Okay. And I'm thinking, sir, you ought to just, go out and buy another one. "My God, I will not. You and your crew need to go out and find that thing. It can't be too far." I said, "Get right on it." So I left, wrapped it up. About 4 hours later, my sergeant, great guy, calls me by. He goes, "Hey," he goes, "Dude," "I got a beef. Some guy beefed you on that, some grand theft of a barbecue." He goes, "How can you fuck that up?" He said that you went in and stunk up his bathroom and left it and didn't fold the newspaper back up.
Fold the newspaper?
Yeah. Now, I can understand him getting pissed at me stinking his shitter up.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't like that done at my house. But you know what? This guy needed to, be put in his place a little bit. I said, and the guy, he even said, he goes, "Yeah, he wasn't so mad at the bodily function, Bill, but he was pissed that you didn't that he didn't get his newspaper back the way it should have been."
Wow.
I said, "Guilty as charged, Sarge." I go, "God, I don't know what else I could have done. I had to go, and you got to go. And he gave me permission. And I said, I looked for some spray. There wasn't any spray. So,
But the newspaper, come on,
the
Bill.
newspaper was enough to put the guy over the edge.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was already on.
Yeah. So that was one of my most strangest.
That's a weird complaint.
Yeah.
Of all the things you've been accused of in your life,
and all the things I did,
and the things you did, my favorite line.
I get beefed for that. Are you kidding me?
My favorite line in last week's show was appropriate baton striking. That was well said.
Yeah.
But
well placed and appropriate.
But newspaper couldn't fold it up, huh?
Couldn't fold it. I just left it as I just put it on the sink and walked out.
Wow.
So anyway, so that story, I remembered that when I heard a story about a situation that happened in May, I believe, of 1990 or June, something like that. I can't mention names, but I will give you a hint. And if you can't figure this out, then it's a wonder how you get up out of bed in the morning. All right. So this happened in May of 90. All of the people that were in this residence are all dead now, except for the policemen that were there. Okay. Happened in West LA. A famous actor's house who starred in both The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. He's now deceased. His son, who's now deceased. His daughter who's now deceased. And the deceased on the scene, who was the daughter's boyfriend.
Oh.
Evidently, two training officer, and two recruits got a call of shots fired in the area of 1, 2, 3, 4, walk and don't walk, whatever the address was. So they roll to the scene. They discover that there is a deceased male in a lounge, in a reclining chair, and he still is, pretend this phone is the channel changer. He is dead with the remote control still in his hand.
Wow.
Okay. The suspect is there. I did it. I shot him. Here's the gun. I believe he had been abusing my sister.
Oh.
Okay, very good. Stay right here. Witness number 1 is the father. Training officer A takes him into his bedroom and says, I'm going to get an interview. Nobody come in here. Just me and him. Nobody come in. I got this. So his trainee, evidently, before the call went out, had to defecate in the worst way.
Oh, no.
They were looking for a place to go, but the shots fired call came out. They had to respond. It's theirs. They're called a handle now. So he's stuck there and he is like crowning. He's in trouble. He's trying to pinch the butt cheeks, the whole thing. So the other training officer says, hey, man, just go in there and go, man. You got to go. You got to go.
Yeah. Because
the rest of the house was taped off. It was crime scene. So the only things that weren't were the master bedroom where the father is being interviewed and giving out some really good statements. So the kid goes in and his training officer, I told you to stay out. Get out of here. I'm talking. He goes, oh shit. And he turns around and walks back out. And then he goes to the other tree. He goes, what happened? He goes, he told me to leave. He goes, damn, if you got to shit, you got to shit. Just go in there and go. Okay. So he goes back in and he goes, what's wrong with you? I told you not to come in. And he just walked right past him, disobeyed him, walked right in, went into the restroom, pulled his stuff down, and in the nick of time, was able to take care of this issue. Now, I guess he's looking around and he sees this beautiful white Angola carpet that is just gorgeous. And he's going, holy man, this guy's loaded. And then when he's done, he gets up, does his thing, he flushes. Well, guess what? Evidently, the circumference of the load
starts to rise.
Too big. Okay. The water starts to rise. He's going, oh my God. And he's jiggling the handle. Then it goes down. And he goes, oh. Then it comes up again. And it's coming. And he looks around. I guess his only option, which he utilized, was to go in barehanded, snap it in half, and extinguish the problem. And I laughed so hard when I heard that story. I mean, yes, is it gross? Yes, but that's the kind of story that goes in books that cops write. True, unbelievable, but true stories like that in a famous person's master bedroom bathroom. So anyway, he saved the carpet. So the joke was, hey man, you deserve the Medal of Valor for that. And so whenever they'd see each other years and years and years down the road, he'd go, hey man, you're not wearing your Medal of Valor today. How come? And guys go, hey, you want the Medal of Valor? How come you're not wearing it? And he'd have to tell the story. Anyway, I hope you guys got a good laugh.
Poor guy.
It's a true story. If you can't figure out who the players are in this, then text me and I'll tell you. But if you have any recollection at all on who the family is on this, I kind of gave it away. Look it up, research it. But anyway, funny story. And it's true.
You heard that from a guy involved?
I heard that from one of the guys that was there. So anyway.
Wow. That is quite the story. What did you want to say? You told me to remind you, Wendell Kim.
Oh, yeah. That goes back to the old school mentality of baseball. Wendell Kim was a major league coach with the Red Sox and the Giants, third base coach. And his job with the Boston Red Sox was strength and conditioning. And he had such a work ethic. You know why? You notice that where Jimmy Ramos sprints to the first base coaching box?
Yeah, Cal Poly. Yeah.
At Cal Poly. He got that from Wendell Kim.
Oh, no.
When Wendell Kim played at Cal Poly. Wendell Kim died about 6-7 years ago, I believe, of Lou Gehrig's disease, something like that. I can't remember what it was. Well, Wendell Kim had a great work ethic. In fact, such a work ethic that I guess they had optional strength and conditioning in spring training for players with the Red Sox to come out and go through some strength and conditioning before a exhibition game. Well, that day, nobody wanted to do it. Well, Wendell Kim was out there and he was leading the exercise and there was nobody there. he was doing it as if he was teaching the players, stretch here, stretch. And people went, Wendell, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, my job is to teach strength and conditioning. And it doesn't matter if I have anybody out here or not. I'm going to do it. That is my job.
I love it.
And those kind of guys are not around anymore.
No, you're right.
And that was a true, reflection of how baseball was done back in the day. You went out there and as a coach, that's your livelihood. You went out and whether or not there were people, and in his case, he was dedicated. He was a John Scalinas guy. We've talked ad nauseam about John before. And so Wendell's job was to go out and teach, even though nobody came.
Man, you're right. And man, with baseball guys like that, grinder guys that have been around forever.
Grinders, man. They are baseball people.
Yeah.
You can tell a ball player by two things. If they were good hitters, they still have, even when they're 60, 70 years old, they've got some very big forearms. And it's not from what, because both of them are the same size. All right. And you can also tell a guy whose teeth are a little yellow from chewing tobacco all those years. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's how you can tell a lifer from baseball.
Yeah. And I think, some of these guys in baseball,
because if you swing a bat over and over and over, you're going to develop.
Oh yeah. Naturally. Yeah. But there's like less and less baseball guys out there now. I mean, just like you mentioned with Brian Price and everything. And I remember we were in San Diego watching a game and you and I were both watching third base coach Glenn Hoffman for the Padres.
He's a machine.
Just a lifer, man. He'd run out there. Yeah. He remember every pitch. He was like he was
dialed in, man.
He's ready for a line drive.
Yeah.
Case of line
Same
drive.
thing with the guy at with the Angels now, Brian Butterworth or something like that. That guy is that's what his job is. He is paid to make sure guys either score or don't get thrown out at the plate or go first to third without incident. And those guys take it very serious. That is their job. And they don't, and a manager will tell them, do not get kicked out. Mm-hmm. Let me do the arguing. I'm the expendable one because their job, who the hell else is going to do it?
Yeah.
You can't bring the bench coach out and have him. He doesn't know what the signals are.
I'm going to do it as
the manager doesn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you need that third base coach in the game.
100%. Yeah.
So that's why you don't see third base coaches getting kicked out.
How come there's not robot third base coaches? How come you're telling me a machine can't? Wouldn't they do it perfectly, much like they won in replay and balls and strikes and this and that? Wouldn't a robotic third base coach make more sense in today's game, Bill?
Nobody likes a smart ass.
It's saying, well, there's only room for one at this table, and that's definitely you. But yeah, baseball is just changing, and I think it's also spills into like life. Like I got to imagine, more than I do with this, as far as like cops. Mm-hmm. Are more and more cops retiring early, or even getting out of it before they retire because they just see that it's changed so much for the worse, not for the better.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that are still in it now, the old lifer coaches and people, they're in it because they need the money. I guarantee they hate the game. They hate the way the game's being played. I guarantee.
Yeah.
They don't like this, second guessing all these brain children that went to MIT that are now using computers to analyze how to play the game and how long a guy pitches, and let's shift on this and let's shift on that and let's do this, and it's just come on. You're taking the human element out of the game. You're taking a manager's ability to read the game and his instincts that have got him there all these years. You're taking that away from him.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Dave Roberts doesn't manage. He doesn't call the shots. He's there to manage the clubhouse. He's there to make sure that everybody gets along and everybody has some pumpkin pie after the game if that's what they want. Hey guys, are we okay with Heineken after the game, or do you guys want Bud Light?
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Big decisions.
Huge. Huge.
Now, did you ever, as a cop, have a guy? You talk about like these brainiac GMs now who run baseball teams. Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a guy in your law enforcement days, maybe, I don't know, internal affairs, someone who came in, had no idea about the day-to-day grind of police work, but wanted to instruct you guys or something like that?
Constantly.
Yeah. Who are the types of people that, like, what positions did they hold?
Well, they were dog shit street cops. First of all, they were meek and mild, and they would not really do much in the field. They were constantly going to
watch this. This is why you and I don't umpire anymore.
Oh, Jesus.
Catcher misses the ball completely and it hits the umpire in the mask. And then there's no time given. No one gives anybody. Get back there. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, no, constantly. These were people that wanted to climb the food chain. All right. They humped the right leg. They did this, they did that. They became upper management very, very quick. And they forgot what it was like in the field because they never worked the fucking field. All right. And they became management. And when management can either be your best friend or they can be your worst nightmare. And so many times they had just no clue. You'd never see them in the field because, they wanted to stay in the house. We had yard dogs and we had house dogs. They were house dogs. We had gunfighters and we had gun cleaners. Okay, that would take their gun and put it in a cabinet and you wouldn't see it.
Yeah,
those were those guys. No, constantly.
Yeah,
constantly. They were trying to, they would act on whatever management people above them would tell them to do, whether it was right or wrong, and that just used to bring the morale down like you would not believe.
I can't imagine.
There were some good ones though.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys that, hey, they would back you and they supported you until they couldn't. So
that's all you can ask.
And then they even tried. I had guys, that he goes, Bill, this is blah blah blah. He goes, we're gonna unfuck this. Just go over there, let me handle it.
Yeah.
And they would sweet talk somebody, and the problem went away.
Well, I'm curious, how often was like your tactics changed? Like, hey, let's try it could be anything. Maybe how you control a suspect or the different ways in which you go about pulling people over. Was it micromanaged as much as maybe, baseball is?
Yes and no. As my career progressed during my time, there was a lot more emphasis put on, hey, have him come with you peacefully or just leave by yourself. Whereas before you went in and you if you kick down doors, you kick down, bedroom doors, if you kick down closets, if you had to drill a hole in the ceiling, that guy was coming.
Yeah. What's the old RoboCop line? Dead or alive, you're coming with me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could see.
Our saying used to be, okay, well, we finally become, house, little poodles now. So it's like, hey, come with me peacefully or I'm leaving by myself.
Interesting.
And they'd tell you to go fuck off. And you'd say, another spoonful of shit, please. And then you'd leave.
That's got to be a tough environment. Bill, I asked this on my Monday episode about walk-up music and how I heard, baseball players have it, fighters have it when they come out. And jokingly, I was like, well, what would be my walk-up song? It could be for any, like in life, jokingly, of course. And, Bill, when you walked on a field, like say you were an umpire and you walked on the field and they are announcing the umpires, what song would you want played? Or jokingly, when you walk in a room, what song would you want played that announces Bill Barnes' presence? It could be a couple songs.
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Born to Run.
Born to Run. That makes sense. That's fitting. That's fitting. I like it.
Yeah, there'd be plenty. There'd be a few.
Yeah,
that one came to mind.
That suits you well, man. That suits you really well. This bird you cannot chain or cannot or free bird, is it
free bird? Yeah,
that's
a good one.
Free bird.
Yeah, or what, that smell by Leonard Skinner.
That's what it's called.
It's called that smell. Yeah, I'll play a couple. Let me.
Oh yeah, that is it. That
so
smell.
If folks don't.
By Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, if folks don't remember that, I'll refresh everybody.
While you're looking that up, I did hear from our good friend, the Captain Maynard Bajorquez. He said, "Great Wednesday show. I enjoyed seeing Mr. Barnes run the show by himself. What a shot at me! Thanks a lot, Maynard.
I don't even remember it.
Remember, I left the room. Well, you went first. You were in the restroom, and then I ran.
We took pee breaks,
and then you had to stall for 3 or 4 minutes, and you were running out of ideas real quick. It's not as easy as it looks, Bill.
No, it isn't. I had to run. I did. I anchored this thing by myself. All right, listen up, folks. Here we go. Now it's the commercial, of course. Hang on.
Bill Barnes and technology. DJ Bill Barnes here on the Get Home Safe podcast.
Okay, like we got 13 seconds.
13 seconds. Skip an ad, yeah. Bill. Come on, mate. Put it right up in there. Oh, yeah. What a song.
Yeah. I never object. When I would be in a little saloon, after a couple Jack Daniels, go to the jukebox and play this.
Yeah, Bill Barnes coming to you live. I like it. Your plate umpire for today's ball game, Mr. Bill Barnes. The security officer, Bill Barnes. I like it. Smell. You're right. That is a good song. I forgot about that one. Born to Run, Free Bird, The Smell.
Anything by Leonard Skinner.
Oh, Leonard Skinner's great. Absolutely. No, I love Simple Man. It's one of my favorites. I love that intro with the guitar.
Also, like, it really doesn't have any meaning, but another great song by a really good artist, Neil Young, Harvest Moon. Another one of my favorites.
That's a good song. We've heard that a time or two in the establishments we've been to. Yeah, jukeboxes are fun.
Nothing like a good depressing tavern, dark, dingy, and depressing, with a horseshit jukebox and some songs like that to bring your alcohol content to the very highest after some whiskeys, and then you take a power nap and then you go home. That's
it. That's all you do, man. Absolutely. Bill, you told me off the air, you heard the podcast last Friday, Mr. Brad Holy. You really liked it, huh?
I did. That guy is Mr. Cal State Fullerton.
Yeah. Wow.
I thought I was talking to the Hollywood Insider, about Fullerton baseball, man. That was good. Very informative. I liked him.
Yeah.
All my time going to Fullerton, I never knew the guy.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, he's been up there in the press box working with Dr. Chris. It was a good time when we were up there working those games. Yeah, great thing. And one thing I forgot about, Bill, a person I forgot. Tell me your thoughts on this as far as a head coach goes at Fullerton, maybe. A guy we've each umpired some games of his, Joe Turgeon, down at Concordia University. Really quiet guy. Division II, of course, but a Cal State Fullerton alum. He was a volunteer assistant there for a while.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he's not volatile. He's not. I don't see him being a really dynamic recruiter. I did not know that Sergio Brown.
How about that?
Was at Fullerton.
I
did not know they brought him in from Arizona to be the associate head coach. Now that makes a lot of sense. Now, Sergio, I always got along with him. Okay. But he could be an absolute dick on the field.
He can snap.
And so I always got along with Sergio. I always got along with the problem children.
Yeah, because you were used to it as a police officer.
The nice guys, sometimes the nice guys and I would butt heads. But Sergio can be
He's tough.
Yeah. I mean, and but hey, if he's the dynamic recruiter that Brad said he is, then I could see him getting the job.
Well, that's a big part of it is recruiting.
Absolutely. That's why, Willie Bloomquist, who's the new head coach at Arizona State.
Yeah.
He's going to have a whole rude awakening for him, because these pro guys that come to the college game, like what's Brad was saying, they last a couple years.
Yeah. I don't like this.
But the grind of recruiting,
mm-hmm.
going into people's houses and trying to be nice to the parents and tell them what a great kid they have and how much they would be welcomed at the University of Walk and Don't Walk, lying through your teeth. That sometimes could be tough.
Oh yeah, that's constantly doing that. Whereas in pro ball, you just like, who do we got this year? Who sent us? Who do we draft? All right. Yeah. Hey, meet. Go.
You know who would be a great recruiter at the college level, and because they've totally gutted scouting now. Scouting at the professional ranks, a guy like Tom Gamboa, what a great recruiter he'd be.
He was a longtime scout?
He was, okay. Absolutely. Tommy was a scout, and he was a scout. Hell, Tommy Lasorda was a scout before he.
Oh yeah.
Those guys would be great recruiters.
That's how things used to be, though. Remember, Tommy was a scout, minor leagues, all those times with the Dukes. Then he came up through the. I mean, that doesn't happen anymore.
No. They get some pretty boy right out of pro ball. Gabe Kapler is a perfect example in San Francisco. And, they have a bench coach that runs things, and then a computer geek that tells them what to do. So all you are is a good looking guy, making sure everybody's happy. Everybody's got, everybody's got a dance partner, So, and again, Gabe Kapler, I don't have a problem with him. But he fits well in San Francisco. Let's put it that way.
Oh, Bill Barnes. Oh, you always deliver, Bill. You always deliver. What else? What?
Say something wrong?
No.
Do I say something inaccurate?
You never do.
It's purely conjecture and opinion on my part.
That's what a concept. We get opinions, strong opinions, and random thoughts here on the Get Home Safe podcast. That's the way it works. Anything else on your mind? What else? Anything you want to shout out? Whatever you're doing with again, pass it along the info for the podcast. It seems to be doing quite well.
Well, people like to see, crazy people, they like to see crazy, and I kind of try to deliver.
Yeah. Unfiltered
craziness.
That is Bill Barnes. Yeah. If we have to sum it up, man,
I'm looking forward to the presents that we're getting from Mr. Is it John Lee?
Oh, yes, we did. Yeah, John Lee. We won't tell you what it is yet.
John had a great reply to my post.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
I saw that he commented.
Outstanding, John.
Yeah, John is an avid listener.
You Rio Hondo prep guys, must be something in the water at that school. You guys turn out pretty intellectual and pretty dynamic and pretty articulate. Unlike the fucking dump I went to in Riverside. Where it's every man for himself, and but no, it's pretty good.
Rio Hindu prep, baby.
Rio Hindu.
Yep. Glad to hear it, Bill. It's cool to hear nice things said about the graduates of Rio versus some of our rivals and things. They had some opinions.
You guys have brought out. You got NASA astronauts. You've got high level executives in the NSA.
Podcasters.
Podcasters. Yeah. So anyway, it's Rio Hondo, man. It puts out a good product.
Absolutely. And we got more gear for you too. We're gonna find some more gear one way or another. I might even find some like old school throwback vintage something or other for Bill Barnes to wear here.
How long's that school been around?
1965, 66, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Is it a one-room schoolhouse, or have you guys expanded your
yeah, the campus is much improved. A big Hampton Hall, big not a big
new table for six,
brand new cheap table for six. Yeah, that's half the senior class. What are you talking about? Oh, there.
So I see Dallas Baptist is playing Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
This is the you folks on Wednesday will already know who won the game, but we're kind of have it on here. I had Dallas Baptist a couple years ago up at the Air Force Academy. They are a good program. They're
Right.
strong. They're going to be around. Their coach, I can't remember I think his name was Dan.
Okay.
Great guy. Very nice man. Good guy. In that game, bad things always happen to me in Colorado Springs. I took a foul ball that ricocheted off the catcher and got me like in the neck. So I kind of went down a little bit, and I remember Kaz, that lunatic from Air Force, the major. He came out. Come on, Bill, get up on your. Come on, stand up. You're not hurt. Let's go. Jesus Christ, you know where you're at. You're at the Air Force Academy. Man, what was he, drill instructor?
Yeah, tough stuff.
Give me a minute. Jesus Christ. Got me in the neck. I can barely talk. So I got up. I think his name was Dan.
Dan Hefner.
Okay, great man. Very nice coach. Good guy. He got to the airport in Denver, and the line was atrocious because his whole baseball team was in line to check bags. And Dan saw him and he goes, Bill, come on up. He had me cut the line and go in front and check in.
Oh wow, that's a move out of Rio Hondo Prep, by the way. Rio Hondo Prep always did that when we were at buffets or whatever, at traveling and things. It was always send people up ahead of you. So that's cool.
He saw me and he goes, Bill, come on up.
That's great.
He goes, these guys can wait because our plane's not until 9 o'clock. And I was in a little bit of a hurry. And he goes, how's the jaw? I go, I'll live.
Yeah.
He goes, good. Hope to see you down the road. Never did, but I see that they've gone on and they're doing well.
Good program.
Now that I can root for teams, if they make it into the World Series, I'm gonna root for either Dallas Baptist, or if Notre Dame gets in, I'm rooting for Notre Dame.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know you were a big Irish fan.
Not, but baseball's not their sport.
You have your reasons.
And in respect to our good friend Kathy Guerrero, who we talked about. She got a post. Didn't we talk about her?
Yeah.
She's the volleyball player. And then big sports person, Kathy.
Yeah, I'm a Kathy. Yeah.
She's one of our listeners.
Okay.
She's a big Notre Dame fan.
Okay.
A lot of Notre Dame fans out there.
They are, for most Catholics out there, it's the university.
It's the Holy Grail.
It's the Holy Grail.
And anyway, I'm going to root for Notre Dame. I'm going to root for Dallas Baptist. Arizona got
religious schools. You're into the religious schools. I like.
I mean,
you don't strike me as a Baptist or a Catholic, Bill, but hey, God bless you.
Heathens can have fun too. Jay Johnson at Arizona, he can be a pain in the ass.
Oh,
in fact, I ran him.
Oh, tell that story. Was that when he was Hawaii? This is another ex-wife story.
Oh God,
it's another ex-wife story. Yes.
Just when we're about to wrap it up. Oh, good.
I have a follow-up to this story, by the way. I have a follow-up. Tell the story first, and then I'm going to end it with. So this is the first time someone I know well, heard from you. You called me from Hawaii, pissed off because you were in Hawaii with your now ex-wife, working baseball. You're not happy. Tell the story.
Oh, God. Bring it back. Jeez.
This is on you, Jay Johnson.
Oh, Jay. Fuck you, Jay. Anyway.
Arizona head coach. Was at Nevada.
He was the head coach of Nevada Reno, right? This is 2014 or 15 of the year. And I took her with me to Hawaii to work baseball. And I told her when we left, I said, babe, I have to work. Okay. I'm not going to be able to drink all day and frolic around. I have to kind of be somewhat focused. This is not a vacation. You're coming with me and you're going to enjoy the pool without me. You're going to enjoy a little bit of the evening without me. But when I get back, the dance light's on. We're ready to go. All right. We'll cut loose. Right. So we get there. First night in, we go to Duke's, and I'm meeting the rest of the guys that were there. And she doesn't really dig them. She was unfriendly anyway. She didn't really dig them. So I said, oh, well, okay. I go, so we had an okay time. We'd go to the pool during the day. And then, so about 4:00 in the afternoon on day one, she's pouring me a beer. Well, I got to work a ball game that night. I can't be drinking before the game. I said, sweetie, I can't be drinking. I go, thanks for the beer, but I got to go work a game. She goes, well, we're in Hawaii.
Okay.
Go, did you not listen to anything I told you before we got here? I go, when the game's over, I come back, we'll party all night. I'm good with that. All right. But I got to be somewhat coherent for a 6 o'clock game. So games 1 and 2, 6 o'clock, night game. Sunday's the day game. And I don't know what pissed her off that day, but we're driving to the rental car to the ballpark. She said something that I fucking snap. I pull over, I get out, I start walking to the ballpark. I start walking, right? Then she pulls up next to me, and we're like two fucking gangster idiots arguing with each other on a main street in Hawaii. We're arguing with each other. People, grown fucking adults. We're screaming and yelling at each other. I can't remember what it's about. And so finally, cooler heads prevail. I get in the car. We drive to the ballpark. I said, sweetie, you want to, because she hadn't come to any games yet. It's a day game and it's warm and I'm going to have the plate that day. I said, hey, you want to come into the locker room? It's early. I'll show you around. You can see what we do before the game, where I rub the baseballs with the mud and all that. She goes, well, okay, if I have nothing else to do. So she comes in and I'm showing her around, and I go and I get her ticket, and she goes up to where she's going to sit. And, she's enjoying the game, and game's going relatively smooth, quick, no issues, no nothing. 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Nevada's down 2-1. They haven't touched the ball all day. All right. 2 outs and 1 out it was 1 out in the top of the ninth. The one pitch I fucked up on all day, I called kind of a low pitch strike 3.
Perfect.
Banged the kid out, and Jay comes unglued at third base. He comes down and he's barking. I said, Jay, you can't argue balls and strikes. You know that. He goes, I want an offensive timeout. I said, timeout granted. And the kid that's coming up now, he goes, when he calls that horse shit pitch low again, just take it. He won't do it fucking 2 times in a row. And I said, Jay, you're pushing the envelope, my friend. He goes, I'm not talking to you. I go, Jay, relax. I go, we're almost done here. Oh, you want to leave, do you? I said, no, but I think you do. And back then, we have to do the old mother may I. And this is your official warning. If you continue to argue, you shall be ejected. He goes, eject me. I said, boom. Now, big crowds in Hawaii.
Yeah.
They go nuts. They go crazy when I do it. All right. Fat cheek cheer, blah, 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 blah. Everything's great. Now I'm thinking, I had 1 out to go. Now I'm going to have to write a goddamn report. It's going to cut into my, Hawaiian tropical time. This is bullshit. So he's done and he leaves. And then they third out's recorded. We leave, walking in. So the crew chief goes, man, you only had 1 out to go. I said, I know. God damn it.
He had to go. He had to go.
And so anyway, we're out in the parking lot, and my wife's waiting for me at the car, and she's standing there like, you just had to do it. You had to eject the guy. I said, yeah, I did. You know what happened? She goes, well, that was a low pitch. I kind of screwed him. I said, you know what? You should have just, stayed in the fucking car. All right. She goes, I bet you felt like Elvis Presley when the crowd roared. Elvis Presley. I said, yeah, it was kind of a neat deal. Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
So then we went back to the hotel, and I had to write the report, and then she's waiting, and I thought we were going to go out to dinner. I said, I am. I got to get the report written. Well, if you hadn't fucked up that pitch and ejected the guy, we could be at dinner right now. I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm going to eject you.
Yeah.
And then,
so I was out with Fred Monteblanco and you called me. I think it was while you're in Hawaii, and it may have been when you were storming off, walking by yourself.
I probably was.
Yeah.
I was looking for help.
Or was the 3,000 miles away across a body of water.
I told her, I said, before we left, I said, you know what? Take the rental car back to the hotel, get your shit, get on a plane, fly back to the mainland, get an attorney, and take all my fucking money. All right, just do it. I was livid.
I had the speakerphone on it with Fred.
I was livid.
You were shouting. You were like, "Go home, take my money, take everything I own." Yeah. You were like, "Screw her, I'm done with her." And Fred is laughing hysterically, and he goes, "Who is this?" I go, "This is my old buddy Bill. He's an umpire. He's a retired cop." I think you'd love him. He was laughing so hard. We still laugh about that today. And I got to imagine that that's how a lot of people feel the first time they heard you on this podcast.
Oh,
very similar. Who's this guy?
Complete lunatic.
Ex-wives' tales.
Nut. Complete nut bucket. Off the rails all the way.
A lot of ex-wives' tales today. It's been funny.
Oh my God. Other than all these things, it was a great marriage. Other than that.
Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Exactly. Yeah. Boy, that brings back my stomach hurts.
Oh man,
pains.
Thanks a lot, Jay Johnson. Yeah.
Damn, Jay, I hope you lose. I hope you go 2 in barbecue.
Well, what a great show we had today. What a way to let's wrap it up, Bill.
Yeah, please.
It's been fun. No more ex-wives' tales. It's been.
No. Jesus Christ.
You got a lot of them. We didn't even hit. We got many more to hit later on.
You got any smelling salts? Bring me back.
Yeah. Oh, let's.
I could have gone all day without remembering that.
Oh, so much fun. What would we do? What would we do without this podcast weekly, man? This is.
I'd be spending a lot of money in therapy, probably. I'd be paying some therapist a shit ton of money to figure out how fucked up I am, and he or she would say, "Bill, there's nothing I can do."
You should get a microphone and start just pontificating.
Yeah, look in a mirror and talk.
Well, that's what we do every week here on the Get Home Safe podcast.
We went a long day. How long did we go?
Hour 20.
Oh shit! God damn,
that's fine. The day is young.
Well, hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Take your masks off. Don't drive in the car with your fucking mask on. It look like a dipshit.
Yeah,
but if you do, that's fine.
I mean, whatever.
Do it. Don't expect me to though.
No, exactly. Yeah. To each his own. There's your boy Dan Hefner.
What a good man.
DBU.
What a nice guy.
I heard other things from last week.
Well, he's competing. I mean, that weekend he was playing Air Force, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
it was a walk in the park.
He was a nice man.
He was a good dude.
Those times, but yeah, regional, a little different story. And anyway, well, Bill Barnes, this has been fun, and we did it again. Looking forward to next week.
Swim like hell, folks. Swim like hell,
guys. And as always, guys, no matter what you're doing, whether you're out on the town or around at third base, get home safe.
Even if you have to walk, get home safe.